You're good to go.
All right, welcome back to M&A&D&D episode 102.
Is that 102?
102. Xonthol in ruins. The last time we met, M&A had infiltrated Xanthol's tower. Under the duress of a cultist who decided to switch teams because, in his opinion, the cultists at the Xonthol Tower were probably leading to a more destructive end with their dabbling in necromancy, their obsession with creating a Dracolich. That obsession led to the actual culmination of a Dracolich that you guys encountered after passing through a portal leading you to a glade, where you all fought to the bitter end to face off against a Dracolich who was felled by Astrid when it finally came back into range. The shattering blow that finally put it to rest is where we're going to pick up. We find ourselves in the glade. Sitting on top of this hill with this fog, this eerie fog around us, and the Dracolich with its kind of rotting flesh, leathery wings, and appendages laid bare upon this altar. That the same altar that seemed to have created it. As you guys kind of gather your surroundings, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start from here. So quick note, we're going to actually kind of rewind a little bit from where we ended last time because I want to pick up in the glade.
That's fine.
Glade.
I think the first thing that Val does is kind of just like turn to Ash and just go, well, shit. Really still don't want to piss you off. How's everyone else doing?
Yeah. I'm alive. Is everyone else okay?
I'm barely alive.
You're T-Rex.
Vomel just starts walking to everyone and just kind of healing.
No, but the T-Rex in fact went away, man.
Oh, okay. Are we sure this thing is dead?
You want me to bite it?
Eat it.
I'm not sure that's actually healthy.
Can I make a check to see if it's actually been killed and whatnot? Because that's a good question. I don't know what kind of check you would want. Investigation or something.
No, your survival check, right?
All right.
Or medicine. Medicine.
It would not be a medicine.
Or
maybe Arcana, maybe survival.
I'll do Arcana check.
Survival's my best of all of those. So I mean,
not that one.
Well, they do their checks. Darfarius, you start to hear this rumbling in this voice. This was no fun for either of us. And if you don't bring me some blood soon, I may not let you back into the chamber. Do you understand?
I understand. Hey, we gotta feed
it. Between the two of you, this is it's resorted to the same lifeless existence that you would expect just a big pile of rotting bones to be in. It's eerily devoid of life. Knowing that, like, minutes ago, it had been this reanimated corpse that had been like breathing, breathing this, raining this hell down upon you, flapping its wings, and now it's almost comforting to see these bones lie still, vacant of any kind of movement.
Is it right now, for the most part? I know it's rotting and lying as a corpse, but because we've just seen it animated, is it still sort of like a skeleton that you would see in of a dinosaur, like in a museum, kind of that just collapsed or whatever? So they're still sort of like in the right alignment. Still kind of creepy. So
yeah, but like some
they...
parts of it like actually crumbled down the side of this precipice, started crumbling down, started falling apart. Pieces of it that weren't attached, basically start to like peel off and fall down. The shattered skull of this thing just kind of like, you see this indentation and you see the bones of the cranium just, shattered into a million pieces.
Okay, if its head's already shattered, I was gonna have Darfarius wail on it a little more, just to make sure.
I do want to bite it.
Val's gonna walk over to Astrid and extend a hand and say, how are you doing? After that, because you were on the ground, weren't you?
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
I was about to say, is everybody's kind of like poking around? Like, I think, well, Astrid's like glaive is still like shoved into the dragon's like head from the jaw up, and she's just kind of just like, I mean, because she like literally had like the talons digging into her. I mean, she's probably just laying on the ground trying to catch her breath.
So Val's gonna extend his hand, and do you take it?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds when I pull you to your feet.
Okay. Thank you.
70. Not a whole lot, but something. And then Val goes, so when you and I walked in here,
Good bite, right?
wasn't that guy that got thrown at you? Didn't he summon this thing? And he points at the Val points at the Afridi.
I think so. I think that's where this all originated from. Him and the elementals.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense though. Why would an Afridi from hell and elementals from the planes of elements be here to resurrect a Dracolich? And Val's gonna go over and investigate the
Investigate the Afridi.
Yeah.
All right, so roll your investigation.
For those who aren't noticing the rules, Valmol is like walking to everyone, healing them if they need it. I still have Aura Vitality up, so every single round, people just keep getting healed.
Yay!
Yeah, I think you had. How long is the last? Is it just a minute?
I think
He's a
it
minute man.
is.
Because you used it twice already, so you would have 8 more rounds of it.
It's got 8 pumps total.
Ooh, holy shit! That guy looks fucking gnarly.
You walk
I'm
up
glad
to
I didn't
this
have to fight him.
this being.
He's a genie. He's gonna
You-
grant us some wishes.
You
At this point,
may
you're
or
just
may
as much
not
a genie as he
recognize.
is.
You may or may not have recognized his species, but one of the things that you do take note of immediately is that this is a warrior. He has this blade clutched in his hand. He's this physique that he has, this red skin, this build that he has is someone who's clearly been to battle. But parts of his face are covered. And upon looking at it, you realize that he's kind of adorned. It has something that he's wearing. It's charred. It looks like it's now frail and broken, and fragile. But you recognize it. You recognize it because for so long you wore something very similar. That this being, before he fell victim to the acts of the cultists or this ritual, had been wearing a dragon mask. And now this dragon mask lays on his face.
Can I sense any magic from this dragon mask? Because the one that I had, like I knew was insanely powerful, and if this thing is charred and cracked and broken, I'm wondering if it. So I'm trying to see if it's still active or if it's.
You have
detect magic.
I do have the wand to detect magic. I can use that.
Otherwise, they'll need, if you give it to me, I'll use detect identify on it. But that's the only way.
But I will call out to the group and be like, looking at it and picking it.
There's just like, it's almost as if like this filter kind of comes over your eyes and you see, your compatriots, the rest of the party who's kind of glowing in all of their glory with their magical items and stuff. But you look, you're focused in on this mask that this being is wearing, and you just see these like little faint sparks as they kind of like shoot off and begin to like slowly die, becoming less and more and more faint.
I'll gingerly pick up the mask and say, well, and I'm assuming this is what I can see of the charred thing is the blue one. This isn't one that we weren't expecting to see. This is the one that we were looking for. Do I need to investigate it again to see if it's blue or not?
I would say even with your 18, like you can't tell if it was blue at any time, but
Okay.
like you knew the blue mask was here at this tower.
Can I?
I mean,
because I'm so attuned to dragon, to lick it and tell what kind of dragon mask it was.
Yeah, roll for lick.
Hell yeah. Roll D.
In this game anymore.
I'm a fucking
I would just like to
ranger.
point
We
out
do
that I
weird shit
have-
sometimes.
No spell slots to heal
hell
you from
yeah.
poison.
It
That's just
tastes
a
like
flat 17.
blue. It tastes like blue.
It's like blue. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you get it like a raspberry.
It's got a little like
Sour
electric taste to
raspberry.
it, a little tang, a little tang.
It's like blue raspberry warhead.
Hell yeah, blue raspberry warhead, perfect. Yeah. So Val looks at this and goes, "Well, I think we know what happened to the mask that we were after, but if this guy had it, I'm not quite sure what kind of plan our turncoat had in mind to try and get it from this threatening looking devil. So but we have it now, and I guess we can mark this off as a win." And as he looks around to like the beaten and battered party,
We survived. This is not a win. And I'll point to the Jin. Think about what this means. What he is. And he points over. What the elementals are. And I'll point at the bones. What that became. They are growing more bold. Her touch is greed. They were greedy for power. You now see what she's capable of. What her minions can do. And this is but a taste of her true power. She is close to resurrection. That is what this means.
We know that she's been sealed in hell and has been working from there for time. Seeing a devil doesn't it's not an easy connection, but it's a connection that makes sense. But also, surviving is all we can do in these situations. It's either we survive or we die, and everything fails.
Beyond that, there's also the fact that they didn't win. They didn't.
They
this
did.
thing.
No, that's what you're
How
missing,
though?
Liam. They succeeded in making this abomination. It
Sure.
means they are
And it's
capable of
gone.
making more. That is the terrifying point of this. We don't know if this tower is the only one these cultists have had, or if they have their copies to do this once again. This could have been the prototype, the first attempt, which means there will be more.
Maybe, but we didn't let it get away. We're not letting it be a complete success, and it had great cost to them.
They were
So,
willing and happy to pay.
maybe.
But this was a splinter faction of the cultists. So not all cultists are looking to do the same thing.
No, there's the
what we
5
found.
heads. Remember, there are going to be at least 5 factions. There are 5 heads, each with different focuses.
I'll take the win wherever we can get it. So this thing's
Speaking of
better off
taste,
re-dead as it is semi-alive or undead.
speaking of taste, based on the location of where I'm at, it looks like I'm gonna take a bite out of this thing right here.
Oh
What
my
is this,
god,
like this
no! It's
wing
gonna
thing?
be gross, man.
It's like
The chicken wing?
part coming out. Yeah, I want to bite right there. Yeah, just
All right. You kind of chomp down into this thing, and immediately, like your teeth contact the bone. It's not pleasant, but when you're surrounded by
taste-wise
your
or the way it
compatriots, yeah, you start kind of gnawing at it. Like you're like, this is like a rawhide. Like you just start gnawing at it. You're like, it's not gonna stop me.
With my detect magic still up, was there anything else of note of interest on the body of the?
When the detect magic comes up, you see kind of like this kind of glow emanating from its belly.
I will investigate that. Do I need to roll again, or is the 18 from
no?
before?
So yeah, your 18s. So as you kind of like, and Darfarius is already there, kind of making a mess of the corpse.
as Darfarius does, just chunks of like bone and flesh just flying over as he's eating and throwing his food around.
kneecap. That's another spot I get at.
There's a couple things that you start to find inside of it. There's it seems as though that it had kind of engulfed its own horde, if you will. That there's once you start to like get past the chest plate and the rib cage, you see that there are several items and different things that are like crammed inside of it. Maybe this was a part of the ritual. Maybe this was the last thing this dragon had done before its death was to like take its horde with it. You find some cloth. Once you kind of like take it out and peel it out and shake all the extra flesh and charred bone and different parts of the dragon, it looks more like a cloak. You find probably looks like a tankard, some plant seeds.
Hey, sorry, quick question. Is this a horn?
That's the other wing, I think. No, it's not. It is a horn.
Yeah, the other wing's over here. Looks like.
Yeah, you're right.
Blue dragons
There's
have
a
a
horn.
horn. So yeah.
He goes to start nibbling on that.
I'm taking that.
You see another piece of cloth. Once you shake it loose, it resembles like a really battered, worn, and like semi-digested hat. Another container of liquid. And then you find like several pouches of copper, silvers, and some gemstones. It looks, once you open up one of these bags, you see that it contains several large diamonds.
Do we know how many? Just because several large diamonds is a very specific resource we will need. So I just want to make sure we have
it is 5.
5, cool. No. Oh wait, yeah. I was like, she's trying to sell them. Astrid's trying to sell them immediately.
No.
No.
You're good.
Can I take a look?
No, yeah. I'll just hand the satchel of diamonds to Astrid and Vomel and say, I believe we will need these. If you do not mind, let me for safekeeping. Just trust me.
Can I
We'll take 3.
assess the value of said diamonds?
He breaks out her jewelry kit.
Yeah. Yes, you may.
Well, you are the master loot pedal pusher black market person, so you would know what values these gems would have.
Yeah, I'm just trying to decide what.
It'd be an investigation. I would assume. Yeah.
Fuck. Okay.
I will help you.
Okay.
I will use the help action.
You're what's happening is at first you struggle a little bit because your eyes are still all bloodied.
I'm gonna wipe some of the like dragon goop out of my face.
And then you start seeing like, hey, these are phenomenal diamonds that are probably used in more of the higher end rituals. So probably bringing you about like $5,000 worth of gold.
Okay.
Or I can resurrect people.
Yeah, that's so we're trying to make sure that there are at least 300 gold pieces worth each, so that they can actually be used for the spell Revivify, because that is the distinct resource required for that spell.
The other ones are more expensive though. It'd be 500, 700, 1,000. So different gold values.
You're right.
But we can move on from that. Circle back around. So the patches was the last item, and that should be everything.
The pouch.
Pouches.
Astrid kind of sees like one more thing kind of like tucked away amongst like the remains of this dragon. It kind of blended in with like the tattered flesh of the Dracolich. It looks like a very kind of worn and beat scroll. But unfortunately she can't really read it.
Like read it as in like can't. It's like too faded, or the language that is on the scroll is something I do not understand.
Like you could probably use the resources around you to be like, hey, what is this scroll?
Oh.
Like if there's a brotherhood or some kind of person in training. Look at about Justice C.
I actually had to adjust. Shut up.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, I'm ready.
I haven't said anything.
Are you speaking of me?
I actually have to.
I'll help me.
Me.
Oh, just let me like adjust my bow tie. Yes, are you in need of some
my cape over here?
Is that a scroll? I happen to read them.
Let me and my wizardness take a look. Dear me, I might say. Might I say? Anyways, sorry.
It's
Completely not that character, but
I can cast it.
we
Doesn't
just-
find anything, but whatever.
We will take time to do with that later.
I'll give Liam the scroll though. And just say, I think you're gonna be the one that appreciates this most.
Thank you.
Liam, as you look at it,
My nerdiness comes out.
You kind of read it. You adjust glasses that aren't there. You're just kind of like,
Excuse me, guys. I'll be right back.
Takes the
His
mole's
glasses.
glasses off his face.
Glasses.
I need these.
This is a scroll that enables someone the ability to speak with the dead.
Oh wow.
Perhaps one should speak with just the effort.
You want to speak with a Ifriti?
Do I want to? No. Do we need to know why it is here and what it knew? Likely.
I think that makes sense.
The mask was our primary point, I will agree. We need to know what she is doing and what her minions are doing. The more information we have, the better.
I agree.
Do you have the ability to do that right now?
What?
I looked at Vamel.
Huh?
You just got a scroll.
I can't
You have
cast it
the
yet.
So he.
Oh, what level spell is it?
3rd level.
I can do so. Does anyone else need to be healed in case something goes wrong?
Yeah, me.
I healed you twice.
No, my thing is still the same.
He's at 59 out of 120.
Oh,
He's got more than anyone else.
Alright.
That's literally more than triple.
I need
Hey,
more.
Terry's still at Valen's still at 1. Did we heal Valen?
He's gotten healed. He just hasn't updated his character.
Yeah,
Okay,
no one's
what
been
is
paying
it?
attention.
Yes.
Yes?
I don't have that control over mine.
He's healed you multiple times.
Yeah, he's been putting it in the chat.
All right, so someone messaged Valen how much he needs to get healed, and you do the speak with dead, which is what? How's the speak with dead work?
He needs incense, and I have some if he needs it.
What the fuck?
I think
I'm
I got
killing you, Darth.
14.
I'm going back in my hammer. Fuck this.
Alright, those are
I was,
for...
like, I was told there was going to be a fight.
There. That's all for Darth.
How do you have all these spell slots still?
Level 1 spells.
Yeah.
I have to touch people to use these, and you
Oh,
all
you were-
fucking teleported away!
Technically, I
Darth, you
flew
got-
away, and so did Astrid. So, like,
No, I 100% don't.
you didn't start off
Darth, you got
teleporting.
an
I
additional,
literally the
Darth, you
first
got
thing I did
additional
was basic.
29 healing. All right. What are we doing with Speak with Dead?
There.
It hasn't updated yet.
There's all the healing I got. Enjoy.
And so 29 plus an additional 19?
Everyone that I just cast. So it's 9 plus 8 plus 6 plus 6 plus 17 plus 19.
Oh, 17. So that was. Is Darth adding this? I'm not sure who's doing what.
Hold on. I'll do the math for Darth. This doesn't hurt his head. 1 second.
I don't have control over my character to add hit points or deduct.
What?
I can add them for you then, I guess.
Thank you.
Add 65.
Alrighty.
That should bring him up
Yes,
to
you
about
do.
full.
He is 100% healed again.
There we
Let
go.
me refresh my
Zang.
page.
All right. So what are we doing with the talk with Ed?
So what I will do before I
Yeah,
read
you
the
get
thing-
5 questions. We need to know what 5 questions we're going to use. He's
Do
going.
you know number 2?
Where in the 9 hells is he from? I think should
Who's
be one.
less
I
important?
think we should
Like
know
Dorothy
who
before?
sent him.
Who is his master? What was his purpose or end goal?
But I feel like I can answer both of those. If his answer is going to be Tiamat and his end goal was to make a Dracolich, we know both of those answers already.
He
Except
could have been hired by somebody who wasn't Tiamat, though.
correct. You are assuming that his master was Tiamat. We're making that assumption. And the end
Sorry,
goal
I misspoke earlier. He's an elemental, not a devil. So that changes things a little bit. He's technically.
I thought the description said something about 9 hells on it, or was I?
It might be in that page.
It was in the blurb at the very top. I didn't scroll down a lot. I literally tried not to scroll down.
We do not know if his direct master is Tiamat or someone else. We are making an assumption. At the end, perhaps it is Tiamat, but it is not who he could be working for directly or who bound him.
All right,
What
fine.
if
We need to
What
go where
if
we
the
need to go.
Dragolich? The Dragolich may not have been the end goal. The Dragolich could have been the means to an end.
They could have been trying to raise Tiamat as a Dracolich. The
They
end
could have
goal.
been trying to raise the Sword Coast. That could have been a goal. We don't know what their specific goal for this motion was. We assume. And that is how we fail. We cannot assume we understand her plans and those are below her. She
Fine.
is
We have 5 questions. Let's just be strategic about them. You have 2. We should still
Then-
figure out where he came from, so we can make a strategic plan to go there. And we have 2 more.
Does he know of other locations of the cultists? Other strongholds of the cultists? And does he know of any sleeper agents in the Sword Coast working for the cultists?
These are all good questions.
The last is what I am most concerned about.
Yeah, I think that one's important too. I'm also trying to think of questions he might know the answers to.
Perhaps we start
What about
with
the
the
well?
first.
What about the location of the well?
Hey, look out!
We have a general location in a mountain range. We don't have an exact location.
But if we're going off the assumption that he has to know where these things are, if this is a being that's not from the material, not know that location.
We're making assumptions. If we just made saying we can't make assumptions, then all we can do is ask. If
I
this
can
was
likely ask my deity where the well is.
I'm just saying, this guy had the blue mask. It's likely he was ingrained with some amount of knowledge of the cultists and stuff like that. It's not like he was just here to do part of the job.
We have options of 6. Let us start with the first 2 we know we have to ask. Well, I would say 3. Who is his master? What was his end goal? And are there any turncoats or plants within the Sword Coast? Those 3 I think we must say. From that information, then we can likely change the end questions.
All right.
Does that work for you, Lowlanders?
Here's some incense.
I'm sorry. So you're saying would any of us have seen this spell cast before? They've dealt with Talk with Dead before. The group has.
Okay. It's like
That's why they're being so cautious because they tried this
Right.
once before. It didn't go well for them.
We tried this
Gotcha.
twice before, and every time we've gotten screwed. So
When we return back to the Sword Coast, we will certainly find a pub.
Okay.
All right, set up the incense. I will put my maul to his left as he's laying down with the shard of the scale pointing towards him as a binding agent. On the right, I will put the rosary for, again, the binding agent, and I will stand at the south at his feet. So all 4 cardinal points are taken up. So that way I can form the kind of ritualistic circle around him. And then I will read the scroll. Is that an Arcana roll? I don't remember the roll.
No, if you can roll, the reason I couldn't use it is because it's above my level and it would be potentially lost. If you use it, then it's just a flat. You're just going to use it. You burn the spell, but it automatically succeeds because you have the spell slots. Because you have unlocked that level of
yes.
spell.
All right. Vamol will intone the spell, the scroll, and let's see what happens.
Okay, what are you doing?
He's using the spell scroll.
Okay, so then you kind of lift the head of this body, this corpse up, and then you look at its face and you ask it its first question, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is? Go ahead and ask it.
Who do you serve?
I serve no one.
Damn.
Did not expect that voice thing. Okay, woo. Not the answer we expected. What was your end goal with this?
My end goal was to break free from this prison and to rain hell on these cultists.
Vamol just takes a moment and looks at the others.
So he wasn't working for the cultists.
He was manipulated.
No, he was getting manipulated by the cultists. He was trying to break free of a prison to rain hell on the cultists.
Right, so he was using them to break free. He was using their arcane knowledge.
I think they held him prisoner and used him as a sacrifice.
I'm going to write something down on a piece of paper and hold it up to the group, and I'll put it in the chat real quick as an alternative question.
I'm actually curious about that. Vama will nod. Does anyone seem to have a disagreement in the party about that question?
Go for it.
Who was the original owner of the blue dragon mask?
The original. Lost to time. It was born after the birth of Tiamat in order to control the god. It was futile. just like your endeavors.
Where are other cultist strongholds?
All around you. But I need not take advantage of such silly questions. The next stronghold you should worry about is in my home, the Nine Hells. Take me, and I'll answer the next question you have.
Agreed. So the last question before we plan to visit you would be, do you know of any sleeper agents within the Sword Coast that serve the cult?
I do not concern myself with the occultists. They're beneath me.
Will put his head back down if that was the 5 questions. It looks like we're going to hell. He'll look right at Liam. Your friend will be waiting.
We're gonna be waiting for him. Hopefully this time we'll be the hunters.
Well, at least this time we know how to get there.
Vamo will end the incense, put back his rosary, store his hammer, and he'll pick up the body, because he made a promise.
Do we see anything else that we need to look at, or should we start looking for a way out of it?
This land is strange. I am curious about it, but I do not believe now is the time.
Can Val
I would
kind of
say
like
I would say everybody can just do a general roll of investigation, and you guys can kind of like take a scope investigation of the entirety of this DW. Valen.
Would using my boots to get a higher elevation, would that help any with?
Yeah, sure. Do an investigation and take advantage.
Okay.
Outside of this investigation,
Like 15, 20 feet. Just enough to kind of like be able to see over like because most of like the bushes and stuff around here, like, it's like more of like a tall scrub than an actual like tree, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say what you guys both gathered, everybody's gathered, kind of running into all the corners of this particular area, is that you're almost in kind of like a domed area. Like Astrid, you've climbed up. Valen, DW have spread out. And it seems as though that this is some oddly specific pocket dimension in which you guys, this precipice, this sacrificial altar, whatever it is, seems to only exist in this one space. You have discovered again the portal in which you came through. It's in the bottom right hand corner. When you get near it, it seems to open again, But other than that, there doesn't seem to be anything magical other than the fact that like sometimes when you guys walk through those weeds and the bushes, they slow you down. Those same vines kind of like wrap around you. You guys recognize this to be a hazard and start to maneuver around it, but it's a small area. It is particularly now with the death of this Dracolich and the summoning of him, you recognize that there isn't much more left to this particular area. If you need to exit, it will be in the. You guys would need to all move to this corner here.
So we move.
I have one last.
Okay.
The free. Does he have any sort of like identifying marks or seals or anything that would show any sort of association or from wherever he is, other than obviously the cultist? Like, does he have like a seal or I don't even know.
Any branding
Um,
or tattoos?
No, you don't. There certainly seems to be branding. There's certain like and Astrid, of you of all people, are familiar with some of the I don't know about traditions.
I was thinking more of like factions, houses within that.
But no, this does not have. He doesn't. This doesn't seem to have any kind of like resemblance. It's something that you've grown aware of.
Okay.
Side question that might be dumb, but I'll ask it just in case. Is the Dracolich harvestable? The answer can be no.
It's
Okay,
pretty
cool.
much no.
It's
It is
totally
the most,
fine with that.
It is the most garbage.
Yeah, I know.
Totally fine with that. Moving on.
Anything that was good probably was just eaten by Darth.
Out of all the dragons we've slain so far, I've made attempt and request to harvest some dragon parts. Only this time, I'm not touching that thing. Was it?
You're like, no, thank you. No, thank you.
Like,
I
even
will.
I cannot take the smell of that pile of flesh.
So Vamil will take a tooth, kind of just like break one of them off.
Uh-huh.
I'll use Channel Divinity so to purify it, but this is to present to the Council of Dragons, just so they
Okay.
can sense what happened.
Gotcha.
I was gonna make a symbol, but more of a trophy than anything.
That's kind of the difference between the two characters, which is perfect.
I would say Asher probably still takes a trophy at this point. She fucking blew the head off.
Good.
Um,
We'll start working towards the exit at this point.
Can I ask to do a pseudo, possibly not normal thing that is flavor text with this one as we leave? And you can let me know if this is
This is awkward.
You can let me know if this is allowed or not. I want to have Val be the last to leave the portal out, and as he leaves, to unsheath his sword and try and tear the pocket dimension so that the remains of this thing get scattered across the astral sea.
So as each one of them kind of hops through this portal back into Xonthol's tower, you remain behind, and with your sword, you pull it from its sheath, and it kind of and this blade made of stars and abyss and nothingness kind of just elongates, right, and it slashes through, and it kind of seeps in, and the entirety of things starts to like kind of erupt and shake.
I think Val kind of notices that the blade seems to, I don't know, stir a little bit, and is like, piques his interest a little. But he heads through the portal to not get caught in the collapsing of this pocket dimension.
Fine, Val 2.0.
He learned his lesson last time. This time he's gone.
Most of you return. So as you guys walk back through,
Most of us.
No. Y'all died. That was a bad idea.
Shit.
But I let him do it. It was fun.
I was trying to do flavor.
Now Val shows up too. Damn it.
All right.
What have we all learned? Don't leave Val alone with the portal.
No, leave Val wherever he wants to go. He's fine.
You're a little big for your britches there, son.
Oh wow, I grew.
All right. You walk back into the portal room in which you had found in Xonthos Towers. But when you enter this room, you just hear this cracking, this shaking sound, stone on stone, as everything seems to be in disarray, as if the tower itself is collapsing. And that's where we're going to take our first break.
Yay, water.